Welcome to the Attendance and Family Orientation Meeting. My name is Karen Garner Berry, and I am the proud Parent Instructional Coordinator for Norton. For tonight's meeting, the presenters will be the counselors, and the counselors are the ones who, above and beyond other responsibilities, closely monitor attendance. Your presenters are Dr. Cody and Lisa Sanchez. I ask that you hold your questions until the end of the meeting. During the question and answer period is when your questions will be answered. In advance, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to attend our attendance and family orientation meeting.
Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so let's try this again. So I'm Dr. Cody. I'm one of the counselors here at Norton Elementary School, and I am going to present on attendance this evening. So on our very first slide, Family Center information, we just want to make sure that you know about our Parent Center. So it hosts information about engagement on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 8:15 to 3:15, and Thursdays from 8:15 to 11:15 a.m. Our Parent Center is open. It includes resources for communication, technology, social, emotional, behavioral support, information about our community, and wellness resources. So our PIC information is at the bottom of the slide. If you want to take a screenshot, that's Ms. Garner Berry, and the telephone number in which you can reach her is also on that slide. So if you're interested in stopping in to our Parent Center, that information is the bottom of the slide. All right, so now let's take a dive into student attendance. All right, so in Gwinnett County Public Schools, every day counts. We're going to look at a parent guide to navigating attendance within Gwinnett County Public Schools. We're going to look at three learning objectives. Objective number one, parents will understand how attendance impacts a student's ability to succeed academically. Objective number two, parents will become familiar with local and state policies and procedures as it relates to school attendance. And objective number three, parents will learn about strategies that they can utilize to encourage children of all ages to practice good school attendance. So let's look at how attendance impacts academics. All right, so chronic absenteeism in school has been a significant rise since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Chronic absenteeism affects over 7 million students in the United States, representing about 16% of the student population. Reports indicate that the percentage of students who are chronically absent jumped from 15% in 2018 to around 28% in 2022. So in Gwinnett County Public Schools, our absenteeism rate has more than doubled from 2018 to 2024. In 2018, it was at 8.2%, and it jumped to 18.5% in 2024. So let's look at some facts. Did you know that if your child misses one day every 2 weeks, that equals to 20 days or four weeks per year? And over 13 years of schooling, this is nearly 1.5 years of schooling. Now, if your child misses one day each week, that equals 40 days over 8 weeks per year. And over 13 years of schooling, this is over 2.5 years of schooling. And if your child misses 2 days per week of school, that equals to 80 days or 16 weeks per year. And over 13 years of schooling, that is over 5 years of schooling. And last, if your child misses 3 days per week, that equals to 120 days or 24 weeks per year. And over 13 years of schooling, this is over 7.1 years of schooling. So 7.5 years of schooling. Now, school absences can add up quickly, and even missing just a couple of days each month can have a significant impact on student academic success. So when students miss, they miss out on critical instruction and opportunities to engage with their peers and their teachers. And this can lead to lower grades, difficulty keeping up with coursework, and a higher likelihood of dropping out. All right, so Ms. Sanchez is going to look at Gwinnett County Public Schools attendance procedures.
Good afternoon, family, communities. Thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Ms. Sanchez. I am the co-counselor here at Norton Elementary School. I do work with grades K through 2. And we're going to just jump into chronic absenteeism. Students who miss at least 15 days of school in a year are considered chronically absent. This includes both excused and unexcused absences. Some factors that lead to chronic absenteeism can include family circumstances or a lack of family engagement with the school. Now, truancy, that's totally different from chronic absenteeism. Truancy means students who accumulated at least 10 unexcused absences. This implies deliberate or unexcused absences that are often behavior related. Counts only unexcused absences like skipping class or leaving school. And it also emphasizes legal compliance. So that's the difference between truancy versus chronic absenteeism. Now, Georgia has a compulsory attendance law. Georgia School Attendance Law 20-2-690.1 states that every parent, guardian, and or other person residing within the state having control or change of any child or children between their 6th and 16th birthdays, shall enroll and send each child or children to a public school, a private school, or a home study program. Now, Addendum State Law 20-2-150 states that all children enrolled for 20 school days or more in the public schools prior to their 7th birthday shall become subject to all of the provisions of this article relating to compulsory school attendance, even though they have not attained 7 years of age. Now, we're going to jump into when it's too sick for school. So we understand that some students get sick and you have to keep them home. We understand, trust me, we do. But send me to school if I have a runny nose or just a little cough, but no other symptoms. I haven't taken any fever reducing medicine for 24 hours, and I haven't had a fever during that time. I haven't thrown up or had any diarrhea for 24 hours. Now, to keep you at home, I have a temperature higher than 100 degrees even after taking medicine. I'm throwing up or have diarrhea, or my eyes are pink and crusty. Now we need you to call the doctor if I have a temperature higher than 100 degrees for more than 2 days. I've been throwing up or have diarrhea for more than 2 days. I've had the sniffles for more than a week and they aren't getting any better. I still have asthma symptoms after using my asthma medicine, and call 911 if I'm having trouble breathing after using the inhaler. Now, how can parents support good attendance? We need you all involved, community, so that we can make sure that our students are here and we are all in compliance. So let's work together. To help support students reach their fullest potential, addressing chronic absenteeism requires a collaborative effort between schools, families, and communities. By working together, parents, students, and the school district can enhance the educational outcome of each and every Gwinnett County Public School student by encouraging consistent school attendance so that they can benefit from the opportunities that education provides. This collaborative effort can help students not only in becoming college and career ready, but also develop the skills and confidence needed to pursue their dreams and goals throughout their educational and professional journeys.
All right, so before we close, we want to review some ELT overviews. And what that is extended learning time. Oh, thank you. It's an extended learning time program. So the purpose of ELT programs, well, let's look at that. It's to provide supplemental interventions that assist students in meeting or exceeding the state's academic achievement standards. Such interventions may include programs which often students opportunities for remediation, enrichment, or the preview of content from one or more of the 4 core academic areas, which are English, or in English for speakers of other languages, ESOL. Student supports who failed district assessments or other standardized tests in preparation for their success on future assessments. Purpose of our extended learning program. All right, so ELT is offered at Norton Elementary. So we'll have an Enrichment Academy, we'll have the Intervention Academy, and we will also have ELL Academy. So some additional opportunities for school and district engagement. So Gwinnett County Public Schools offers opportunities for school and district engagement through monthly board meetings, local school council, district family advisory council, and engage, equip, and empower sessions. We also have technology resources. So this last slide depicts all the technology resources that we have that our students can engage in to help in those academic content areas. All right, and that concludes information on our attendance workshops. If you have questions, we're going to go ahead and take questions regarding attendance or our extended learning program.
Hello?
Hello,
Oh,
did you have a question for us?
no, that's okay.
Okay. All right, well, we're taking questions, any attendance related questions or questions regarding our extended learning.
How can you get your child enrolled in the extended learning program?
Well, we usually send out information at various times of the school year. So in the fall, you'll get information from the assistant principals that will be running those programs. They'll send that information home directly with the student. You're also welcome to inquire through your child's teacher. Not all students will qualify for certain programs. So I would encourage you to reach out to your teacher, your student's teacher regarding the extended learning program.
And you can also find that information here in the Parent Center as well.
Mm-hmm. So utilize that Parent Center.
Thank you.
Any other questions in regards to the attendance and the new law that has taken effect and that will eventually affect our parents as well when it comes to truancy?
Dr. Cody and Ms. Sanchez, if you want to talk about how parents can submit absence notes, maybe, so they know how to, that process.
Sure. So parents are able to go to the counselor website. We have a form on there in which you can retrieve a form that allows our parents to send us notes. You could also, there's a new way of parents are able to submit notes. It's the
Parent portal.
So you'll be able to just take a snapshot of the doctor's excuse and send it through the parent portal. And then it will later in the parent portal your attendance, your child's attendance will be updated if the excuse is an excused absence.
And that's definitely following district protocols when it comes to absences. And we also have created, and you can find this on Norton Elementary School website under the counseling tab, where you can find some additional absentee notes or absence notes that we created for our parents to make it a little bit more easier for you guys to get those forms in, or you not having to write those forms and they get lost. On the back of them, there is what's approved from the district. So we do follow those guidelines to a T. And if they are not excusable, unfortunately, it will count as unexcused. So please make sure that if you're going to be out for an extended period of time, you are making your teachers aware of those absences. But just know that if it's a family vacation, something like that, that's unexcusable. So unfortunately, those will count against the unexcused percentages, and we want to make sure that we're keeping those down this school year. We want to have, our goal is to maintain at least 10% of the absences. We want to make sure that's below, which was last year, the 17% that we were able to capture. So we want to make sure that you guys, please, if you need some more forms, your teachers do have those forms, or you can come into the school building and grab some additional absentee forms if you know that your student will be out. Also keep in mind, you have 7 days from the date that your child is out to submit doctor's handwritten notes, but you can go back to the first day of school to enter in any absences with a doctor's note.
So how does COVID affect this? Since it's making a comeback, what if the child is exposed to COVID but doesn't catch COVID?
I haven't heard any district guidelines, Ms. Tate. If you've heard any district guidelines regarding COVID, I'm guessing you're just going to follow whatever your doctor's recommendations are, because I haven't heard anything from the district regarding that. But Ms. Tate, have you heard anything?
No, we haven't heard any guidance from the district regarding being exposed to COVID. So just if the student has COVID, as Dr. Cody mentioned, they will follow their doctor's guidance, and that would be considered excused because you'll have that doctor's note for that. But exposure to COVID, they haven't given no guidance with that. Thank you for the question.
I have a question. So how about when you're signing your child out early or they're tardy to school? How does that play in the whole attendance situation?
Well, as you know, tardies are not, I've known sometimes in the past it was if you get 3 tardies that equals an absence. That's not the case. So tardies are, we want your child here on time, of course, and we understand that they may have a doctor's appointment or some other type of appointments that they may have to attend, and you are bringing your child in tardy. We love that they're coming in still and not out for the whole day, so maybe they're missing some instructional time, but not the full day. So the tardies are not affecting the attendance protocols. And if you check your child out early, that doesn't affect them either.
The only effect that tardies or checkouts may have is, and that's a local school, it's for them if they're to get, they won't get like perfect attendance, because perfect attendance award happens for students that also not only were here, but had no tardies or checkouts.
And just keep in mind that the new law does state that your child cannot exceed 10% of the total school days. So in your case, it would be 180 days. So that would be like 18 days. What it doesn't matter if it's excused or unexcused, they cannot exceed 18 days or 10% of the total school days. So just keep that in mind when you're making your doctor's appointments, or if your child is sick. Please, we do not want them here if they're sick, because we don't want to get anyone else sick. But as we went over, there are some reasons why you would bring them if it's just a runny nose or things like that. But if they have temperatures and you've given them medicine and they need to be out over 24 hours or have diarrhea, vomiting, then you definitely want to make sure that they're out. But just keep in mind that new law states they can exceed 10% of the total school days, which is 180 days. And if they do exceed that, then unfortunately there are some steps that we have to take where we will have a SARC meeting. You will receive a 5-day letter from the district. You will receive a call from the counselors and the teachers. Like I said, there may be a SARC meeting, and then there may be a case where we have to, unfortunately, get DFACS involved for educational neglect. And then if it gets higher than the 20 days, then there may be what is called a TRIP meeting, which that's with the Department of Juvenile. And then there's a hearing that goes along with that. So please keep that in mind, parents. And it's not a Norton thing. It's not a GCPS thing. It is a state binding law that has now been put in place.
Yes, and remember that the 10% is not just the 180 days of school. So 10% could be the first 30 days of school. It could be the first 60 or 90 days of school. So if your student has been absent more than 10% of those 90 days of school, then it kicks us into gear with having to have those SARC meetings, and then the meetings escalate. And this is for excused and unexcused absences. So make sure that you are you have those excuse notes.
Looking for a Spanish speaker.
I know.
I saw there was a question about Spanish. We can definitely put in the chat that we'll have someone, Laura, if you can put in the chat that we'll have someone reach out to them regarding this that is able to translate the information for them.
Was this meeting sent to everybody or just certain people?
Norton community.
Okay.
And we do appreciate those that have joined us today and took some time out to sit and listen to our attendance initiatives and making sure that you guys have the information and that you're well equipped with what the state and GCPS has for our families.
Yes, we definitely don't want any of our families blindsided.
All right. If anyone doesn't have any additional questions, I just want to thank Dr. Cody, Ms. Sanchez, Ms. Garner-Berry, and in the background, Ms. Gerard, for assisting with our family orientation meeting today. If you have any attendance questions, Dr. Cody and Ms. Sanchez, they are the attendance gurus. They know all the ins and outs about attendance, even if it's just about, is this an excuse or not excuse? If you're having trouble submitting your excuse note either to the teacher or through Parent View, please reach out to our counselors. They are here to support you. They have our attendance drive going on, and it is their goal to make sure that all of our babies come to school well. Before we end the call, is there anyone else that may have any questions regarding attendance or the ELTs? For those of you that are just joining, we are wrapping up our meeting. However, a recording of the meeting will be available, will be posted online on Parent Square for you. Our meeting just talked about attendance and our ELT programs that we're hoping to offer our families. Any additional questions?
For those of you who are able to join, if you could please go ahead and fill out the survey. I'm going to put it in the chat. We love your feedback. So if you have anything ideas that you think will make us better, or just questions that you have, please feel free to put that in the survey.
So I do have one more question. So as the rules change and things like that, because I just got over COVID and my son was sick before I got over COVID. So him being exposed to COVID or children starting to be exposed to COVID more since it's making a comeback is gonna be like something that's gonna be relevant. Cause our whole house had COVID almost, except two people was my son and my mother. But so as the rules change regarding this new law, will that be updated and communicated to the parents?
Most definitely. Once we learn new information, we're definitely going to disseminate it to our parents, more than likely through Parent Square, unless we have, a meeting where our parents are coming in, then we'll definitely make you aware of it. We may even send pamphlets home with our students in Friday folders or Wednesday folders, but we will definitely make our parents aware of any guidance that we get from the district, always. And then just one last shameless plug from the school counselors. We are looking for parents to serve on our advisory council, our school counseling advisory council committee. So if you're interested in serving as a parent and helping us come up with some attendance initiatives and things of that nature, you are welcome to send the counselors an email, and we'll make sure we get you those dates as we finalize them.
All right, thank you
And
once again for joining us. Oh,
we're
sorry, Dr.
getting word that we have the parent volunteer orientation on September the 11th at 8:30 a.m. So we would love to have more of our Norton community come out and support not just Norton, but your students, and tell us how we can be better for you all, and how we can assist. So we would love to have you here supporting our school at volunteering.
All right, I think that's it. If we have no lasting questions, once again, I just want to say how we just appreciate you coming out to hear. Definitely spread the word to your neighbors that have students that attend, that the recording will be available from Parent Square. Attendance is very important. Want to make sure that the message gets out to everyone. Thank you, Mom. We'll definitely make sure that we are communicating with any changes or new information that comes out regarding attendance. We'll post it on our social media. We'll put it in Parent Square just so we make sure to keep our families informed. And also just want to remind, in the chat, there is the survey. So if you just want to take a minute to fill out our survey, I want to say, go ahead, volunteer, join our, our volunteer, join our attendance gurus. We're always looking for parents to be a part of us. Our goal is to take whatever feedback we receive to improve. And the only way that we can grow is to know how we need to change from your view. You know, we have our inside schools perspective. We would also like to know the perspective of our parents as well, and how we can make Norton a great place of learning. So thank you once again for coming out, and looking forward to seeing you in the building as one of our volunteers. You all have a great night, and look for the recording on Parent Square.